Father Mike, you were known as Father Theophane when I first met you. I was a student in your first honors class.
I first met Father Michael in the summer of 1988. I finished my studies in Rome, and he changed my life. He gave me a job.
In the 44 years that I've known Father Mike, he has been a friend, a mentor, a father, a brother to so many countless people.
In 1974, the College of Steubenville was on the verge of bankruptcy, and I really admire that when Father Mike was interviewed for the presidency, and they asked him, the trustees, what he would do, he said he didn't produce a clever slogan or a marketing strategy or even a financial plan, but he just told them, I want to make Jesus Christ really Lord of every aspect of the life of this campus.
Father Mike's vision was so radically different from the way the university had been running that people slowly gravitated to seeing there was something very special going on here.
This is perhaps a little-known fact, but he was very determined to provide the highest quality academics that he could. He put much effort into recruiting highly qualified faculty members, had very high standards for faculty and for his students.
He had a vision and he stuck with it. Even when other people were saying it's not going to work, it's not going to work. And it worked, and it continues to work today.
We now ask, O Lord, your blessing on our graduates, the Holy Spirit.
Father Mike, I want to thank you. When I was a 22-year-old graduate of Notre Dame in 1974 and I met you, you shared with me your vision of the College of Steubenville being Christ-centered, and that was like a seed that just motivated me as I went on to get my master's and my doctorate.
Well, I think the beginning of the conferences was a movement of the Holy Spirit to which he was obedient. And the one that I think has always been most important in his mind has been the priest conference. And it happened at a time when seminary education was at an all-time low. So that when young priests came here, they had a chance to have their faith rectified and deepened.
When Father Michael and I met each other 25, 30 years ago, we both agreed very much that the Catholic Church in the United States was in a kind of lower moment. Lack of enthusiasm, lack of orthodox belief. The 70s were a bad time for everybody.
To overcome the force of darkness in this world.
And through the charismatic renewal, enthusiasm, life, interest came.
What comes first is the Lordship of Jesus Christ and the power of the Spirit that has overcome the world.
Dynamic orthodoxy really says what this is all about in Father Mike's vision. I think it's so appropriate, not just for the university, but for the entire church. And I remember one time we were in Rome. We were doing a fire rally in Rome, and we were really preaching the gospel and praying with people to be baptized in the Holy Spirit. And at the same time, we were being greeted by John Paul II, and we were having an audience with John Paul II, and Father Mike was Father Mike, and he's saying, Pope John Paul II, let me introduce you to my friends on the fire team. And we had just tremendous kind of combination of the charismatic and the institutional.
At the communion brings forth a specific healings in people's lives, especially when they pray that prayer at the communion, Lord, say but the word, and I shall be healed.
Father Michael Scanlan has been a great role model for me as a priest. As a student here watching him, love the priesthood. Love what he does here at the university as president, later as chancellor, how he loves the youth, how he loves the church, how he loves evangelization.
I think Father Mike is truly a spiritual father to thousands of men and women all over the world who have learned from his example, who have been touched by his ministry, who themselves are saying their own yes to the Holy Spirit, who themselves are setting their life and obeying the Lord and carrying out the mission he's given them to do. And I see it right here on the campus of Franciscan University. I see young men joining the TORs and young priests being ordained who are really ministering in a prophetic spirit, in a powerful pastoral ministry, in the same way that Father Mike is, through the same Holy Spirit.
I'll never forget the time we spent together in 1988 on the campus of Franciscan University of Steubenville. What impressed me most during my visit to your university was the spiritual emphasis among your students and your faculty and administration alike. I'm especially grateful for your willingness to speak out in defense of the millions of voiceless babies in the womb who cannot defend themselves. The Lord has surely used your shining example to inspire others to get involved in the effort to oppose abortion.
As the Minister General of the Order, the Lord continues to give us brothers like yourself, who dedicate their lives to the Church, to God's kingdom, and to the Order. So on behalf of the friars throughout the world of the Third Order Regular, thank you, Michael, and pray for the next 50 years that will be as fruitful as the first. God bless you.
Well, Father Mike, you and I, we've been through a lot of things together. You have always been to me a perfect model of a true Catholic priest and religious friar. God bless.